In the HBO TV series, WLF soldiers at the Seattle hospital discovered that the cordyceps infection was airborne via spores in the hospital's basement. For those of us that have played the games, spores are nothing new. They exist in both games. However, in the TV show, the spores are introduced as something entirely new. I suppose HBO had their reasons for the change, but the horror show they created for TV is nothing compared to what we find in the game. In the game version, when confronted by Ellie, Nora makes a run for it, and like a total idiot, she leads Ellie into a room where there is nowhere to go but down. Down to the bowels of hell, and spores. Ellie takes Nora hostage to prevent being shot by soldiers. When told she has nowhere to go, Ellie, knowing that she can't be infected, throws herself and Nora down a hole in the floor and crash land into a spore-filled and clicker-infested basement. Nora manages to slip out of the room, while soldiers wearing proper gear, aka gas masks, pursue Ellie. Once Ellie has cleared the room, she/the player is free to explore and scavenge. What Ellie finds is nothing short of nightmare fuel. What appear to have once been clickers can be found laying face down on exam tables, with what looks to be calcified masses attached to their backs. Unlike what we typically encounter, which are either dormant infected attached to walls encased by fungal growth, or infected that eventually died in their dormant state. The fungus on these clickers, who are very much dead, haven't been completely consumed by the fungus. Perhaps it would have been a different outcome if stuck to a wall, which begs a number of questions. How and why would a clicker be in such a strange position? Were they tied down at some point? Were they already dead and placed on the table to be studied? Are the calcified masses attached to their backs a partial growth or something else entirely? When exiting the room to go find Nora, the player can look back at a sign that shows where Ellie had just been, and it explains a lot. Medical research.
Now there's a second part to this story during Abby's time at the hospital. While traversing the lower levels, there are some collectibles that are worth grabbing. These letters may help to explain the weird shit Ellie saw, but two of them have a hidden feature that might leave players scratching their heads. The collectibles we'll be referring to are the chapel note, the annex letter, patient's note, and the doctor's note. To make things simple, in the early days of the outbreak, the military forced some hospital staff to stay and continue conducting research. They were denied the ability to go home. Soldiers gave different excuses, such as waiting for things to be contained before evac. However, the letter from Dr. Kayla Higashi gives a bit more insight into the situation. She was also forced to stay. The excuse that she was given was that it was a matter of national security. They gave her an office where she could get some sleep if she wanted, and that was that. So which are the collectibles with the so-called hidden features? Both the doctor's note and the annex letter have only one side. That is, until you retrieve them from Abby's inventory, at which point the player will be given a new option to flip the page. The option to flip the pages are not present when she first picks them up. They must be added to her inventory first. What's even more interesting is that the back of both letters are blank. This is somewhat reminiscent of the voice recorder that Joel finds at the university in part 1. Joel skips through most of the message until he gets to the important part, just before he and Ellie are attacked by hunters from David's group. A lot of players completely miss the fact that the game adds the recorder to Joel's inventory and can listen to it in its entirety later. We initially thought the letters at the hospital were part of a glitch, but there haven't been any updates that address this, and it's the case with both the original game and the remaster. We're not sure what we're supposed to take away from the blank pages, other than maybe there's more to the story, and what Ellie finds is the missing part. That's just our best guess. Now the question is, will the story be told in Season 3 of the HBO series? I can't say that we have high hopes, but maybe they'll surprise us.
So leave us a comment, let us know what you think the blank pages represent, and if they could be related to the mess Ellie finds in the basement.